You don't live in the world you think you do.
So
This
predictable.
country, man, right now it's bananas, and this guy trying to take over DC and just weaponize these things. And I mean, he's gonna think twice to try to do that in New York, though. That ain't the boogie down, Harlem, that side do or die.
Gonna be a different kind of reaction.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be very different.
Let me stay there a minute. It's summer and the Republican president is mobilizing these federal agents and National Guard troops in heavily black and brown cities with black mayors. What are your thoughts on what's going on in D.C. and possibly other cities as it relates to themes that you work on? Because you put a lot of this on the screen.
It's they're weaponizing these other agencies of the United States government, and this is a scary time. The last word of school days, my brother Lawrence Fishburne saying, "Wake up! Wake up!" And the first line of "Do the Right Thing" is Samuel Jackson saying, "Wake up!
Wake up! Wake up, wake up, wake up.
So we need to wake up.
We need to wake up.
You have someone who believes in this type of philosophy who now has control of our National Guard. And so, you know, the idea that we thought January 6th was a problem and we thought, oh man, that's bad. And, you know, his army then was a bunch of white nationalist racists, whether we're talking about the Proud Boys or the neo-Nazis or whomever, those guys were the ones that made up his army on that day to try to pull a coup. Now you're talking about a guy that every time he disagrees with something, he uses the power that he has because no one around him is checking him, whether we're talking about those in his administration or whether we're talking about the courts or if we're talking about the Congress. That is one of the reasons he is so desperate to make sure that he can win in the midterms, is because he knows that Democrats, it's not even about partisanship. It's about doing what's right. It's about doing the American thing. And to be clear, you can wave all the flags you want to, but I am telling you right now that the most unpatriotic people that we have in this country are MAGA and this president. We are the
Bro, what are you talking about,
and
man?
it is time for us to take our flag back and show people
I'm out,
what
man.
America is about. You can't say that you love the Constitution while decimating it with every single stroke of a pen for an executive order, while decimating it, while you are disrespecting our troops that have signed up to protect our freedoms, not just here, but abroad. And then you're taking people's freedoms away using those exact same troops.
There are many whites who are trying to solve the problem, but you never see them going under the label of liberals. That white person that you see calling himself a liberal is the most dangerous thing in the entire Western Hemisphere. He's the most deceitful. He's like a fox. And a fox is always more dangerous in the forest than the wolf. You can see the wolf coming. You know what he's up to. But the fox will fool you. He comes at you with his mouth shaped in such a way that even though you see his teeth, you think he's smiling and take him for a friend.
There are many whites who act friendly toward Negroes. A fox acts friendly toward the lamb. And usually the fox is the one who ends up with the lamb chop on his plate. The wolf doesn't act friendly, and therefore the wolf has more difficulty in getting the lamb chop in his plate.
I'd like to point out, though, that...
I say that because it is usually if you study the structure of the Negro community, economically, politically, civically, psychologically, and otherwise, it's controlled by the white liberal, who usually poses as the friend of the Negro.
On the other hand, I think one could point to a large number of whites who have struggled for civil rights, for equality, and have got little or nothing out of it, other than quite a few bruises.
Give me an example.
Well, the large number of white students who have gone into the South, for example, working for SNCC and other organizations.
Not working for SNCC or other organizations, but working for the white political machines who benefit by the voting efforts of Negroes.
Okay. Today, you could point to a large number of Negro leaders who have consistently betrayed Negroes in a whole host of areas.
They aren't really Negro leaders. These are puppets that have been put in front of the Negro community by white liberals. These are parrots that have been put in front of the Negro community by white liberals. You can't name me a Negro leader who has been betrayed Negroes, who has not been endorsed, sanctioned, subsidized, and supported by the white liberals.
I've had it with white people that triple trumped, that have the nerve and the audacity to walk into a Mexican restaurant, a Chinese restaurant, an Indian restaurant, go to perhaps their gay hairdresser. I don't think you should be able to enjoy anything but Cracker Barrel.
Did she do any research at all before running her mouth? My goodness, her hate is so deep she's ignorant.
You've probably heard by now about Cracker Barrel changing their logo from old American nostalgia to cold, dead, lifeless, and modern. In a comedic way, as one friend said to me, they removed the cracker and the barrel, so what's left now? And the answer's nothingness. The same nothingness that the left wants you to stomach in every other facet of your life. And if you think this is just a logo change, you're wrong. We investigated Cracker Barrel, and what I'm about to show you is a company infested with left-wing activists who are more interested in safe spaces, pronouns, and virtue signaling than they are in their customers. I think the best way to start is by telling you what you've been funding if you've gone to Cracker Barrel in recent years. So let's start with Nashville Pride. Yes, Cracker Barrel is a proud sponsor of Nashville Pride and have been part of it for over a decade, along with participating for multiple years in Evansville, Indiana's Third River City Pride event. They even made LGBTQ+ rocking chairs for these Pride events, the same Pride rocking chair that they put front and center in their Tennessee corporate office and at their 2019 Managers Conference for the Cracker Barrel managers. That Tennessee corporate office I mentioned is located in a place called Wilson County, one of the most conservative counties that you will find in America.
And if you want to triple Trump, and you want to browbeat DEI, and you want to browbeat gay people, and you want to browbeat black people, as you've been doing for 400 years. And you want to browbeat this generation of immigrants that come over here and open up businesses earnestly, pay their taxes. You want to demonize them and call them rapists and felons and all this shit when the felon is the teeny weeny mushroom cock piece of shit, Kankles McTaco tits at the top of the ticket. I have fucking had it from top to bottom. White people that triple Trump should be banned, boycotted from enjoying the best thing that America has to offer, which is multiculturalism. Get your fat asses out of the Mexican restaurant. Get your fat asses over to Cracker Barrel, because nobody wants to see your fucking smug ass, teeny weeny, pink arm, big gut around. Nobody wants to see that shit. No one.
Now, I don't have a platform like Jennifer Welch, but I'm going to say this shit anyway. So here she is on her podcast ranting on about how anyone who voted for Trump 3 times should be banned from Mexican, Chinese, Indian restaurants. Oh, but only if they're white. That's cute. Really. Now, as a black man who voted for Trump twice, I gotta ask, Jennifer, where do I fit into this magical boycott fantasy of yours? Do I get a pass because I'm not white? Or do you just conveniently pretend that I don't exist? Because my existence blows a hole the size of your plastic surgeon's bill right through your Trump voters equals racist people script. And I noticed how she made sure to not even acknowledge the fact that millions of black men, Latinos, Asians, and gay and immigrant Trump voters pulled that fucking lever too. Funny how diversity suddenly stops being cute when there's diversity of thought. She sounds about as stupid as Biden when he said you ain't black. Remember that shit? She legit said Trump voters should only be allowed to eat at Cracker Barrel. First of all, Cracker Barrel's fried okra hits. That shit slaps. So thanks for the free meal recommendation. Second, if we're playing your boycott game based on the past 400 years, then maybe you should boycott your ancestors' trust fund. And include that Botox while you're at it. You want to talk about browbeating? You're literally on a microphone browbeating to millions of people because you can't handle the fact that they didn't vote the way you wanted. And this is the part where you claim you're all about love and inclusion and tolerance. While dripping more venom than a cobra at a meth party. Knock it off. It's always the same with the far left elite. In this case, rich white women. They preach love until you disagree with them. Then suddenly it's you're banned. You're a bigot. Get your fat ass out of the Mexican restaurant. And for the record, Jennifer, the only person here obsessed with people's fat asses is you. Maybe boycott that energy. You can't ban people from eating tacos. Instead of banning people from trying to eat ethnic food, how about we boycott that plastic surgeon that has you looking like a possum that drank too much whiskey? You don't own multiculturalism. You don't own Mexican food, Indian food, none of that shit. And you damn sure don't get to decide who's allowed to enjoy America. Out here handing out reckless advice like you own multiculturalism. As if you're the gatekeeper of who gets to enjoy a taco or a bowl of pho. Fuck out of here. And speaking of that restaurant ban you proposed, look, broad, there's not one restaurant owner who's about to throw away their entire business over some data celebrity's podcast tantrum. I'm damn near positive she cooked up this nonsense from her $1 million mansion, looking down her perfectly sculpted nose at the rest of us common folks. Meanwhile, she's out here pretending she speaks for a majority, when really she's just another out-of-touch rich girl throwing tantrums from her ivory tower. You need to run along, Miss Sweet Home Hypocrisy. You're gonna strain your neck trying to look down on people you don't even understand. I've had it with this.
Breakthrough Media.